Yes, sir. Can I help you?
I want a shotgun, 12-gauge pump.
How about this one right here?
Yeah, that's fine. Wrap it up.
Sir, you'll have to sign this form here.
Now, let me have a pack of those double-odd bucks.
What are you going to do, knock a wall down?
Stranger Oddities coming back to you. Thanks for tuning in. Sometimes you're tuning in at night. Sometimes you're tuning in the morning. So whenever we can air the show and get it up here. So actually, I want to keep this one rather short, sweet, to the point. And I think most of you are going to be very excited. And I actually have another radio show coming out that we're going to, that briefly talks about it. I kind of held that show a little bit because I didn't want to, I really wasn't sure at the time of taping that show what was really, what direction we were heading. And then, of course, we had a couple of foul-ups with doing so. In order to get this process up and rolling. But now that we're sitting a little bit better as far as inventory goes, and it's been a lot of work. It really has been, because everything is done by hand. And what I'm talking about is the sale of the grips. Finally got in touch with a separate partnership, and they are going to be able to list them on eBay, and you guys will be able to purchase them. And so far what I've got going on is basically some 1911 grips that are my take on the vintage 50s style grips. That's basically what I wanted to do. I wanted to share with everybody, give some people a chance to get some of those. As Jerry Mitchellek would say, get some. No, but I've been fascinated with the vintage retro 50s grips for a very long time. I never really, when I first saw them, of course, everything was so out of reach for me. And that's been like the story of my whole journey with a lot of things. A lot of this stuff involved in this, this hobby, this great hobby that many of us enjoy, and some that just simply don't get it. But a lot of things have been so out of reach. And one of those is like, it's been the old grips that you would see, be it the Keys grips. I think that's what they were calling them during World War II. Those Keys grips were like fully checkered, which my favorite type. And then they were actually just like I think like a Bakelite or some kind of phenolic resin or something like that they made those out of. Now I've got being blessed and having a couple of authentic grips on those old World War II guns, and I got to really study those and look at them. And of course, you can purchase other reproduction grips, copies of them. But something that was always never right to me, that the reproductions, and I mean, don't get me wrong, the reproductions are pretty darn good. They're about as good as you're going to get. But I started looking at them, and there's something about the color. And actually, fellow YouTuber, and unfortunately he discontinued making videos, that My Hollow Point, and he was talking about how the color was something. It was there's a certain color that those old grips have. Now I don't know if it's just because of the age or what, but those pieces of history that we're able to get in our hands today, that cost a fortune, by the way, they do. They have a darker, more of a reddish brown color, and it's hard to explain that. But when you look at them side by side to a newly production one, there is a big difference. There really is. So I started playing around with that idea, and then of course what I really started messing around with is back in the retro 1950s, Colt had come out with something called the retro, or the Colt Wood grip. I called the retro. They called them the Colt Wood grips. What those were and other companies made similar products to it, but what they are is a brown grip with a orange kind of marbling going through it, or whatnot. I'm not sure exactly what that whole idea was, but maybe back in those times that was like a thing to add the orange kind of flavor to it. Maybe it's kind of a harken back to like the old avocado green stuff, or that burnt orange color. And growing up for me in my grandfather's house, that burnt orange was the color of the carpet. The telephone area where we had set up, we had the rotary dial phone and the Rolodex and all that. And of course, silverware, cups and plates and you name it, punch bowls and what have you, was all this color, either avocado green or this burnt kind of orange color. So these grips that were popping up, they were kind of this marbling of this color that was popping up in there. And each one was different, completely different. You never knew what you would get. And I remember being fascinated with that all the way back, just kind of saw glimpses of it, never really understood exactly what they were. And then as I got kind of closer, and then of course with all the years I've got making grips for myself, starting with really just the John Wayne style yellow kind of aged ivory simulation looking thing that he had on his 6-gun all the way through from the mid 60s and on. But this was something that I said, when I started thinking about this marbled color, I really wanted to know how to reproduce that and make some pair. And I tried to actually purchase a set on eBay once. I was trying to bid on it for the sake of getting it for reference. But they ended up selling for over $160. I could not believe that kind of price those things fetched. And the more like prominent the orange is, the more they sell for. I've noticed that in looking at other auctions. The more prominent that orange color is, the more they sell for. So I started tinkering around with. It took a little while to figure out how to get it to marble or get it to kind of do its thing. And each one is different. That's just the luck of the draw. I mean, you when they all harden and cure up and everything, and you get them ready to go, and you finish them out, you just don't know what you're going to get. The marbling is just going to be different every time. So that's what's neat about it, and that to me is what's unique, because I like one of a kind stuff. I like to have my my stuff outfitted with very unique things that it's not going to be like the guy next to you in his shooting lane is going to have the same thing. So anyway, that's what I wound up working with. And I also replicated a little bit of the what inspired me really mostly is my buddy has a Makarov pistol with the original reddish brown grips on it that were marbled with a darker color, and I've also got those. So, and then I got one kind of a simulated marble ivory, aged ivory look that are smooth. So look for those. I will tell you exactly when. I know I'm going to get everybody kind of hopefully excited for this, but I will let you know when they actually are up there, and this is going to come really soon. And you also will see a video that I'm going to do explaining some of this stuff on the main channel, Bad Jack JW. I'll do that. And then check the comment section, because it's going to be tricky how to basically promote this without getting in trouble with certain things. So check the comment section. The comment section, I will leave links to how to get there. Okay, I know I've had a lot of questions. Well, who's going to be the seller and all that kind of stuff? Of course, they remain anonymous. They're just another entity helping me out, because I am too much of a vinyl record trying to figure this stuff out. So anyway, I'm just excited to finally get these things out and hopefully get them into some of you guys your hands, and you'll be able to check them out. Each one will be you'll be identified on the back with the channel name, Bad Jack JW, on the back. If there's anybody in specifically particular that is looking for a set, that maybe if you want something a little bit more personalized or something like that, just let me know in the comments. We'll try to set that up for you, but we'll see how tricky that becomes. But anyway, thank you. I really do appreciate all the support I've had over the years, and this is kind of cool to bring all this out to basically you guys. So thanks.